Yes, if you guys know, I'm a temp driver. Which means I come and go at a moment's notice. I get called right now and go do something. It's a fun job. As I get older, I know that I won't probably do this forever, but even if I do get on with the police and all that stuff, I'm never going to stop being a temp. I would tell anybody that dudes over the road is get a temp job immediately. Get a temp job immediately because if you get fired or something small happens, these job with probation and stuff, you need to work quick. And if you're temp, it kind of saves you. So it's like that cushion, And so I've got jobs on the weekend and stuff, and I go do that, just get a little extra money. Temp work, they don't really fuck with you on hours. I'm not going to say she hasn't fucked with me on drug tests and stuff, but she's never drug tested me, And I've done some stupid stuff, made some mistakes. My concern, I think I'm probably blackballed from the industry at this point, just due to the fact that Eagle's doing stuff, and they haven't put on my DAC report, but there's something going on, and that's fine. I want to get out of this anyway. If I can't do temp, right now my only two goals in law enforcement, if they don't work out, it'd be to try to get one of these male contractors. That's really it. Really easy work. But while I was in California, just a quick run out there and back. I want to discuss with you guys for a second about something happened during the year that really blew me away, and I wasn't able to speak on it in depth because I had to go. Now I'm on the truck. I'm on the road with another man. I can't, I did a video, but it wasn't very good, So I'm on Democracy Now! I saved the video. I can't remember her name. She was speaking about climate change. She was speaking about how, to her, these wars and all this stuff. Basically, it's like this. Some people say Trump doesn't believe in climate change. Not true. She says, and I agree, that they believe in climate change, but it's just another chance for them to kill off a bunch of black and brown people, in that sense, to change the national security landscape. We agree. There was a Pentagon paper that came out. A bunch of folks were talking about it. Nobody talks about this. Sometime out. They don't talk about the Pentagon papers. They don't talk about the climate report the U.S. government, the U.S. military put out there. I mean, nobody's even talking about the fact that while Trump talks all this shit about climate change, we're all looking at that. We're not paying attention to the fact that Trump has a guy in there, the most highest ranking military member in the United States, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is making a report on climate change. He believes in climate change. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys what that means. You know what I mean? This is like if let's say we got police, we got dirty police, and I'm like, oh no, that's not true. They're not dirty. I don't believe it. And then at the same time, behind the scenes, it comes out, I have like cops that, like, okay, I'll partner them with dirty cops. And I'll put like wires and bugs, and I'll give them a special police car. It's got cameras and the lights and shit. And I'm up here telling you guys, oh no, there's nothing wrong with the police. But at the same time, they got recorded behind the scenes. I'm like, man, I'm really concerned about this shit, man. Not because I care about black and brown people getting killed. I give a fuck about black and brown people. But that I know eventually something big's going to happen. We're going to get sued. You're going to get another Abdul Lima. You're going to get another the Sean Diallo. You're going to get another something big, Michael Brown, something big that's just going to blow up. And it won't be just about that one individual. It'll be all these different events over the last 5 years or 6 months built up. And it's going to blow up. And we don't want that. But no one, once again, the press ain't talking about it. You don't see nobody in the West press talking about it, do you? And then you don't know why I don't watch the movies. I don't watch none of this stuff. And I still know more about what's going on in our world than the average sheep out here that you meet on the street. She was talking about how they are making preparations in dealing with climate change. The wall is an example of that. The wall is an example of that. That these areas are messed up due to narco-terrorism, due to other things I'm not getting into in this video. They know about it. Their answer is to we'll seal them off. Fuck them. What was it Trump talking about? Put a moat with crocodiles in it, and they just killed illegal immigrants, and just really sick shit. And I've been thinking about that, and when she said that, it clicked. It clicked. I'm like, wow, that explains a lot. Yeah, it does. That explains a lot. That they know climate change is probably real. They don't care. So what? Don't care. It's a big deal. They don't matter anyway. They're not humans anyway, basically. It might not be oppressor. So it made me think. I've been just kind of chewing over that here and there that people could be that despicable. I mean, I've got family living down in the Bahamas and stuff that they talk about it. The water is definitely rising. You know what I mean? I'm not getting any money from Al Gore. My family isn't getting any money from Al Gore. And somehow the right thinks that because they found some old emails, ClimateGate, saying that there were scientists that were saying that we need to lie about certain things, that then means all of their information and research is suspect. No, man, that was a few people. I remember when I heard that with Alex Jones, and I kind of knew then, I'm like, this is kind of a stretch. You know what I mean? Look at all these, but at the same time, look at all these emails, these racist emails you're seeing, San Francisco police and stuff, with a bunch of cops. Right? We ain't gonna talk about that. You could, now that's saying lies, you could say the whole police department is corrupt. You could say that. You could say, oh, all these cops are crooked. That ain't right. That ain't true. We know that. This is just them grabbing at straws, and I mean, and it won't work. It won't work that the way to deal with climate change is to use it as population control. It won't work. It won't. It's going to hurt a lot of Americans. It's going to change the geopolitics of the world. It's going to make a lot of areas unstable. You're going to get new waves of crime and terrorism. That's coming. If you think that you're going to use climate change as I mean, it's just one thing I've learned, and this is just in the aftermath of this stuff with the SEALs, where they tried to have a Green Beret raped and murdered him and covered it up, or whether it be the case where they shot this guy and walked up and gutted him with a knife. This guy was sniping people, and all the SEALs were coming out with it trying to tell, and no one cared. No one cared. That bothers me the most, because I was always told that those things are just like minor like you had some American atrocities and people went to jail, people were prosecuted, and the fact that these guys stood up and did the right thing and no one cared, that bothers me. You know what I mean? Like it's like the right doesn't even care anymore. Like at one time with the war on terrorism and stuff, when you had Abu Ghraib and other things, you had them doing things to basically say, we're not like this. We're not homicidal murderers. We're not maniacs. We're not just murdering people. We're here for a reason to fight terrorism. And it's like now with Trump, it's like they don't care. They're letting their clan hoods, they're letting them open. You know what I mean? They're taking off the hoods. And I'm not just saying that to be funny. It's really like that now. The fact that this guy's murdering people and shooting at kids, and you don't even care about it in a position of leadership, that's bothersome, man. That's really that to me is actually, see, it's kind of like with this guy, these guys I was telling you guys about earlier. They were guards, Persian guards, COs in West Virginia, and they put the Nazi salute up, and going to find out it was the guy that trained them. They liked him, and he asked them to do it. And I'm like, that's worse. Here I was thinking it was just some crackers who just got a job who wanted to fucking do some racist shit. And here I'm coming to find out that this is a high-ranking instructor in the training division or whatever, asking people to give a Nazi salute. And then it was like, it's like a couple of them, the guys didn't want to do it, so they had to like take pictures again. And then someone put the fist up. So it's like basically a lot of them knew this isn't right. This is wrong. You know what I mean? And if I go back to it, it's not just individual soldiers. That's what we're seeing now. This isn't just individual people who just, well, I don't like black people. Well, I don't like Jews. Well, I don't like them sand niggers. It's not that. It's the leadership. It's the people at the top and the people at the middle that see this shit and legitimize this. This is what Trump has brought up. This isn't just about some warrant officer somewhere or some corporal that she hires. This isn't about that. This isn't about a few guys that went to Charlottesville or a few guys that I kind of agree with the Alan Waff individual. This isn't about this. This is about a structure of white supremacy at the top, in the middle, the people that make decisions that basically don't give a fuck. And so if going back to what I said earlier about climate change and white supremacy making decisions to basically write off Africa, write off other areas in Asia, I believe that. I believe there's something to that. I believe there's definitely something to that. That's terrifying. That is going to make the world a much more dangerous place to be. I have a picture I put up on my Instagram sometimes, on Facebook sometimes, talking about how I think 2% of U.S. military spending could solve world hunger. That's really true. I put up stuff like that every so often. That's really true, man. They are destabilizing the world. And this big document was talking about how they know climate change can get bad, but it was Republicans that like pushed it. It's just basically to get themselves ready for it. You know, they don't care about doing anything that's going to benefit anybody or it's not about that. Not about that at all. It's simply about maintaining white supremacy. It's about the military riding shotgun for these multinational corporations, maintaining the status quo. Let me tell you something else too. All you guys out here that don't care, that are going to sit here and they're going to laugh about people who farm and live beside the water, and that salt water comes up and makes the land unfarmable, untenable. You're laughing at them and stuff. Those same kind of people that write this report are doing things to screw us too, in a different way. Maybe not as drastically, but in a different way. And I one thing I always try to tell y'all, whenever I do something, I look at the trends of corporations involved in the industry. Whatever I do, I look at the big boys. Not because they're true no, I look at the big boys because they've got teams of lawyers and teams of marketers and teams of investigators that do this shit professionally. They're getting ready for whatever changes there may be in the industries. That's it. I think eventually they're gonna have to come out and admit certain things about climate change, about I don't know. I'm thinking about declassifying documents on aliens. I'm thinking about that too. They're gonna eventually have to release this stuff because they're gonna have to. And it's what bothers me is that when these things come out, there won't be any outrage from the West. There won't be this outrage that you guys lied to us for all this time. How do I say that? The Afghan war documents. They just told you people to your face. They've burned over $1 trillion in a wasted war with multiple presidents lying about this wasted money and this wasted war. They wasted American troops' lives. They murdered all those civilians overseas. And no one cares. Life goes on. You know, they can spend $1 trillion on a wasted war, but we can't even talk about socialized health care. We can't even talk about, we want to talk about police departments not wanting to put police cameras on their office because it costs too much. But you can drop $1 trillion on somebody who never attacked us, never invaded us. You see my point? That's the mindset of the oppressor. You can't reason with him. You can't, because they'll lie, and then these things will come out and they'll keep lying. I said it before. I think with Trump and some of the other folks around, I think they get off on being the bad guy. I do. I think it's kind of like, to us, people that are paying attention, and to the world, they do these things to like show you, yeah, we bastards. Yeah, we murdered children. I don't care. Like a thug. He don't want to go to prison. You know, nobody wants to, but he gonna do things, let the neighborhood know, I am that rat bastard. Yeah, I'll run up in your house and kill you. Hell yeah, I'll run up and I'll kill you. I'll kill your kids too. They want to be known as that. They want to be known as that cutthroat, ruthless individual, and that's Trump. That's a lot of your Western leaders. I think they really like that. Yeah, they don't want to. I don't know what Trump though. You had a guy come out openly admit that Trump is engaging in extortion. I don't know about that. That's I'm not sure Trump understands the dangers of that. But I think a lot of the stuff, I think he gets off on just being known as a really devious, diabolical person. I was reading something earlier today about conservatives, how they thought about Christianity today, and a bunch of them were like, I don't care. And I love that. I know you don't care. You have been given those reprobate mind. You don't care what information comes out about him. I'm not even gonna read about that. But a few of them were talking about how he takes the low road in a lot of things, and they went back to some things he said when he was running I didn't even know about. You know, I was just going to talk about him attacking McCain after he's dead, and attacking the gentleman from Michigan. The gentleman from Michigan just died. You know, I didn't even know about the stuff when he's running. I didn't. You know, I've said this before. I think that's what has kind of that's how his conservative base, the suburbs, a lot of these women aren't really supportive of Trump, where that went. You know, not to say these women are allies or any of that stuff. They're going to protest for me or no, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's practice for me. I'm not saying it. But what I am saying is they don't want to see their kids come home from school using the N-word or racist stuff. Okay? That's not what they want their kids to do. Because I think, honestly, white people understand. I'm talking about white folks that have some sense. White supremacy is a dead end. You guys may not realize that. That's a dead end. You guys are going to become a minority. And that's a reality. That's not even trying to be nasty or mean. That's just a reality. So so by you guys doing us racist shit, you're destroying yourselves, man. We're not going anywhere. Black people, gay people, Hispanic people, we're not going anywhere. You know, you guys are going to be like George Wallace. That's how I look at them. You're going to be like George Wallace standing in the entryway to the school in Little Rock. Just I am not going to desegregate. I am not going to desegregate. What did he say? What was the thing he said? Segregation now and forever or something like that. That's it, man. You're going to be just like them. And we look back at that and we're like, what? People actually did that? Yes. Yes. People were like that back then. That really was like that. That's how I see those guys. I think that's tragic. I felt like hopefully going into the future, you'd have a society that was more reasonable, that was more just, that was more humanitarian, that a society that understood brotherhood, and a society that I won't say world government, but a society that was more fair and more just. And I fear that, because see, this thing about it, we're going to face some big challenges going into the future, because we're dealing with a society that's breaking down. You understand? The society's breaking down. That's a fact. That's happening. Flint, Michigan, Newark, all this stuff. Come on, man. It's the beginning. And if you're getting ineffectual government response and all this stuff happening to these little things, what happens when we get a big emergency? I fear if we got a big emergency, these white supremacists can really try to do something in this country. You know what I mean? And that's what I fear. I fear Trump trying to declare martial law, which probably won't happen. I'm just putting forward things that are in his crazy mind. I fear you could try something like that. If he doesn't win, he could try some violence. I really, that's a terrifying thought. A disaster where Trump is still president. And thank God, we haven't really had any big disasters under Trump. We haven't had any really big disasters. Thank God. This turning bad he is not. Because if you did, what he's basically going to do is he's going to cut corners. You've seen it with Puerto Rico. You've seen him, taking money away from FEMA to go to ICE. I mean, you see what I'm talking about? And this is what conservatives do. They take money from useful, essential government services, and then they say government doesn't work when they don't respond properly. You see my point? You had Trump trying to take money from the Pentagon for his wall. This is stuff that even right-wingers should be like, no, man, that's not right. This is stuff you do when you're desperate to get your stuff. Because that's all Trump's been doing. From the time he got elected, I realized that from the time he got elected, it's just been about Obama and Comey and Hillary and all this stuff. There was a guy on there, Survivors Boards, that was talking about how these guys, right-wingers, must love Clinton because they keep bringing her up. And I said that for a while. You keep bringing her up. I didn't support Hillary. I wouldn't support her again. The Democrat Party screwed the preserve. The Democrat Party screwed over progressives. I think a lot of folks feel like I did. It was an election. A lot of folks didn't like Hillary. Period. Okay? So, they say that like attacking the Democrat Party is attacking all of us, and that's crazy. I mean, that's really nuts, man. If you think like that, if you really believe that for a second, you're nuts. You have to be nuts. Period. Anyway, peace out.